The Environmental Protection Agency is changing how it regulates polluters during this pandemic. The agency relaxed restrictions recently at the behest of the petroleum industry. Correspondent Laura Paskus talked with Environment Secretary James Kenney about how the changes affect New Mexico.
Secretary James Kenney, thank you so much for joining us and welcome to the virtual studio. So last week, the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency announced what it called a discretion policy for COVID-19 pandemic conditions. And I understand you're having a call with the EPA later this week, but when did state regulators first find out about this rule, and how might it affect the state of New Mexico?
Well, first, thank you for having me. I really appreciate being here and being able to talk to you remotely. The memo that you're speaking of, it's not an EPA rule, it's a memo, it's guidance. We found out at the Environment Department, I think like many environmental regulators, the day it came out. So there was not a large opportunity for us to weigh in on the shaping of that. But that memo basically provides enforcement discretion in the way EPA is going to look at violations of civil laws, our environmental laws, during the public health emergency, the COVID-19 crisis. So that's what it's doing. How it's going to affect New Mexico is actually an interesting question. There's, I think, various degrees in which it's going to affect us, but here at the Environment Department, we have a lot of those flexibilities. EPA actually has a lot of the flexibilities that are put forward in that memo without the memo even existing. So we're going to continue to assure that New Mexicans have safe food, safe water, infectious waste is managed. And then we're also going to continue to look at making sure that the public health emergency caused by COVID is not aggravated by additional public health emergencies caused by noncompliance with environmental laws.
So for those of our viewers who might not be familiar with these, can you describe what laws this applies to and kind of what types of facilities might be affected?
Sure, and I'll make that really specific to New Mexico because I think that would benefit the viewers. So here in New Mexico, oil and gas industry is regulated for their air emissions, for their water as well. But beyond that, our drinking water has regulations that apply to it in terms of making sure it's safe. So it's not just industry, it's also the public services we depend upon to ensure that we have safe water and things like that. So that's one area. You often hear folks from the Environment Department, including myself, talking about legacy waste in the state of New Mexico. Those legacy waste are either regulated by Superfund, the CERCLA law, in which the Environment Department implements with EPA, or regulated by what we call corrective action, meaning there are active sites that are undergoing abatement or some kind of remedial activities. Those are also covered, and we're waiting for additional guidance from EPA on that. So it really does affect every industry and every service here in New Mexico.
So in that new policy, the notice that was sent out, it says that the federal agency, the EPA, won't penalize companies or facilities that don't comply with monitoring and reporting requirements, but they add that the agency does expect operators of public water systems to continue to ensure the safety of our drinking water supplies. Are we at a point where compliance with these laws are voluntary?
That's a good question. During the public health emergency and the way EPA issued that guidance, it's certainly the standing position that those laws are always running and that there are policies outside of the one that was just issued that account for what to do when non-compliance occurs and there's outside factors like force majeure provisions, like natural acts, hurricanes, earthquakes, things like that. We're not unaccustomed to emergencies interrupting our ability to assure compliance. So we're going to continue to make sure that laws are followed to the best we can, but we have to be very candid that, you know, here in New Mexico, we expect that while we're doing all these social distancing and all these efforts under the public health order that the governor and Secretary Kunkel from Department of Health issued, we have to be realistic that there will be disruptions in services, environmental services, environmental compliance. And that's just going to be something we're going to have to deal with. Like I said, we have the policies and procedures in place outside of that memo that just seems to collect them all and put it out there more affirmatively.
So even in the best of times, the New Mexico Environment Department has traditionally or often been underfunded and certainly understaffed. And now your department has the additional burden of people having to work from home. I'm curious how this policy or move from EPA affects NMED's ability to carry out its regulatory duties across the state.
Yeah, again, another good question. And let me break it down by numbers. Of the 525 NMED employees, 100% of us are working from home now. And that's in line with the governor's public health order, as I mentioned earlier. That, since we have 100% of people working from home, let me further break it down and tell you that 25% of our workforce is actively working on COVID-19 issues, making sure our food, our drinking water, our places of employment, those essential services, healthcare industry are protecting their workers, because we have the OSHA program at the Environment Department. We're also the group that would look at infectious waste and making sure that that's managed properly, as well as wastewater. So when we, flush our toilets and we get and chemical plants are treating their wastewater, we're that group as well. So 25% of our employees are working on COVID-19 directly, and then about 75% of our employees, the balance of us, are working to ensure that, we're developing our methane rules, working on PFAS issues, working with respect to the contamination that I mentioned about legacy contamination, permits, and then compliance. But we again have to be realistic. We're not putting our people in the field as much because we're practicing social distancing and doing things remotely as best as we can to stop the spread.
In the EPA's notice that they sent out to the public, one of the things they said is during this time, the public can make complaints on violations for facilities that they see polluting. And certainly at this moment in time, we don't want anyone out patrolling their communities. But if people do have concerns about pollution in their communities, what should they be doing? And what should New Mexicans, what should we all be doing to be helping the Environment Department protect the resources we have all around us?
Yeah, and thank you for that question. The importance of keeping our eyes and ears open during this time and see if we see something that's a problem or suspected to be a problem, report it to the Environment Department. We'll be through this and we'll be on the other side of it where we can go back and investigate. And we will do that. We'll devote our time and resources into investigating those complaints. We're still receiving complaints. We're still investigating complaints. You may not see us out in the field. You may not see the state vehicle driving through your community, but rest assured, we're sending letters. We're asking for information. We're noting where we're going to go back to. What your viewers can do right now that would greatly help is ensuring that we don't flush anything down the toilet that shouldn't be in a toilet. So that includes wipes and paper towels and things like that we might be using more frequently in our house to clean surfaces and disinfect. And with things like that, practice our good behaviors now while we're in COVID-19 so we can avoid those septic system issues in rural parts of the state, as well as those municipal overflows or just clogging up your own plumbing system will cost you a hefty amount of money right now, and it's hard to get people to come out to your house. So don't flush anything that shouldn't be in a toilet. Continue to use your tap water. It's safe. You don't have to hoard bottled water. Continue to support takeout from our local restaurants. That's very important as well. That's a good place to avoid the grocery stores when you need to bring food into your home. So those types of things are all good practices.
Okay, so we will practice good behavior. Secretary Kenney, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you to everyone who's working so hard right now.
We appreciate it. Thank you for letting us on and share this important information.